Symbols of racism have been torn down all across America, leaving behind empty pedestals in their wake. It's time for new symbols to take their place. Introducing the Pedestal Project, an augmented reality experience that lets you place statues of racial justice leaders where symbols of racism once stood. Visit Color of Change on Instagram. Select from a gallery of statues, place them atop an empty pedestal, and then hear in their own voice why change is worth fighting for.
We do not want our freedom gradually, but we want to be free now.
We will ensure that this revolution will be televised.
There would be no America if there were not Black women.
Join us in the fight for racial justice. Visit Color of Change on Instagram.
Hey Don, how are you?
Good, Mark. How you doing?
Good. I love that program. Just another one of many happening right now during Black History Month. I've probably said this too many times, and people who know me have heard me tell this story, but you know, we cannot forget about the fact that in 1609, when the first slave was brought to Canada, he was a 6-year-old boy. And so Black History Month's ongoing, and I can tell you that I'm continuing to get educated. Read an amazing book this week called Noughts and Crosses, where society's flipped backwards, where the Black people are the former slave owners and white people are the former slaves. Highly recommend reading it. Also, lots going on around the world. Super Bowl ad fallout, vaccines, tests not being distributed. I'm addicted to Clubhouse. We have a ton to get into, Don. I know you and I talk all the time about what it'd be like to reopen the world. So how you doing?
Good in this minus, what is it, 22 today or something like that? Feels like minus 22. Anyway, dying to go outside, but that's not the biggest issue. There's some positives out there. There's obviously continual focus on things that might change what's going on in the future. So I think it's more optimistic, even in a negative state, where I think we're moving in the right direction. Maybe not quick enough.
Well, before we jump into Weekly Pulse, I know you found a video, which I absolutely love, which you think is your recommendation of how brands and marketers, as we creep towards potentially a reopening, let's have a look at this. And I know this is kind of your recommendation to all marketers. If we were to reopen, that get a checkered flag from IMI?
That would, and I just think it's important to know that's 2013. And while people are crazed to go into everything's got to be virtual, everything's virtual, digital, virtual, the fact is, let's not forget the power of live. You can start with live and then bring that content virtually, and you can start virtually and bring that content live. The point is, let's not forget the past. It's 2013, 8 years ago. And the fact is, that is great shit. And what brands, marketers, properties need to do is not everything has to be new. Some old stuff really works well. So I mean, it's just that type of thing to bring the experience, to engage people. I think the next year and a half, we'll find some extraordinary things that people are going to do. It's not all virtual.
I think that should be a tagline for you and me. Old stuff that works really well.
Bring back the old, exactly.
Let's have a jump. Let's go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, it's just the fact that not everything has to be new. So first thing we're going to talk about is vaccines. We're all sick of it, but I think it's important. Average number of vaccines per day since January 19th. So it's not just a supply problem in Canada. The fact is it's a distribution, execution, administration problem. 15,000, that's it. Yesterday, actually that was 2 days ago, yesterday was 33,000. The actual date now at 33,000 is in the 2025 range, even though it says 2028. This was updated yesterday. I went and looked today. But the point is, if we move 6 times to 100,000 people per day, it gets us to June 24th, 2022. That's 9 months after the promised date. And we have to go up 6 times. What we still need now, and it keeps creeping up, is 212,000 people vaccinated every single day between now and September 30th. The good news is it can be done. 212,000 is not overwhelming, but every day we do 17,000 or 33,000, that number creeps up. We need to do that.
What's the U.S. at right now?
They continue to do 1.2 million a day.
So we should be at least at 120,000.
Easy at 120,000. And the fact is, they're going to be, they got to do 500 million injections. That's 400 days or 350 days. So that's still a year away. So even at 1.2 million, they're not going to hit September 30th. So
yes, but look, think about it this way. Once you get past that 60% range, you start to lower that R0, you start to lower that spread, you bring confidence, and you got customers. So those with vaccines can come to my restaurant, come to my event.
They can 100%, but why can't we focus our full attention on 212,000 vaccinations every single frickin' day?
I'm not arguing with you.
Let's not delay it because we can. We've had our leaders tell us they guarantee this number. Anyone who wants one, let's make them accountable to one number. What is the number we need to hit September 30th? There's no other number. Obviously, deaths and tests and all that shit are important. What's it gonna take for you to realize our leaders have lied to us? They've lied to us about $200 million for Black people. They've lied to us about what they did with we. They've lied to us about S&C Lablin. They've lied to us about staying home and not going to St. Bart's. So which leads us to going to St. Bart's is Doug Ford announced that Ontario permits dining for NHL teams during a stay-at-home order. Obviously, people are infuriated, but you look at the fact that teams coming in have to eat somewhere. They're going to be together eating somewhere. There's mass protocol, but it does not look good in the public face as we're into lockdowns where you can't see anyone. Nothing is open to move to this. Are you honestly telling me that's the face mask he wore to the press conference to announce this? Or did you just mock that up? That's right out of an online poll. I have no idea what he wore I have no idea what he actually did wear. But let's move on to but this obviously infuriated a lot of people in Ontario and Canada. Let's move on to top things that Canadians 13 plus are missing. And on the left-hand side, we pull some things up. Freedom of where I want to go, 40%. Okay, this is top of mind. Playing team sports inside, 40%. The fact is, we have the mental health. There's this huge desire that's missed. Yes, there is economy is in the shitter. Businesses, restaurants are in the shitter. But the fact is, that outlay of team sport is a critical thing. Dinner with families, hugging friends, seeing people socially. But in Canada, that number is massive. That is part of our culture. Like in the US, that number is 12% because they play most of their sports out of doors. The fact is, what's going on there from that perspective? Let's look at what people feel. Can you hold on? Don't leave this slide for a second. I think we should look at this slide. If you're a property out there, and you're thinking about building your recovery program, your financial resuscitation, look at what's here. So as you and I both know, and I'm not knocking pro sports, we both have lots of clients in pro sports, but pro sports gets more dollars than grassroots. Pro sports gets more money than charity. Pro sports gets more money than activity. Playing team sports inside is 39%, right? Yep. Watching live sports is 14. People are more anxious to play sports than to watch sports. So if you're about getting people active,
That's what people want to do. They want to go shopping. They want to go to the movies. So I'm not knocking the power of live sports. It's been great, but people want to get together and they want to participate.
Right, we're going to get to some more information on what the actual impact is. So first we'll look at how people feel. So when they're allowed to return, look at the positive. From bored, scared, frustrated is the feelings how they feel in the last week, to happy, excitement, relieved, joy, free, fun, good, pumped up, good, great for mental health, great. I mean, there's nothing negative. What are we going to do in the next 6 months to incent people to get back to sport? And we can focus just on the young, but people of all economic brackets, how do we motivate them to get back in here? Because we asked a question for the Canada Games, want to know what's going on with intended sports participation among youth, and is there a big risk? And the risk here is massive to people. We do a lot of work. So if we go to the next slide, we'll show you some recent work as of February 3rd. We looked at young people 13 to 24 currently playing sport, okay? 19% have no intention to return. 15% are on the fence. People over 24, it's the same number. The point is, we do a lot of work with women or young women in sport and how they drop out earlier than their male cohorts and the reasons behind it. But right now we already have a deficiency here. We have mental health issues. We have physical health issues.
Right.
If we have 3 in 10 people not returning, 2 in 10 saying absolutely not.
What's the motivation?
The motivation is their mental health and physical health isn't great. Am I going to go back there? No, there's a fear. There's a vaccine fear. There's a number of different factors. So I think that governments, municipal governments and associations need to think about super funding this, because if they're lost, we know they're lost forever, and we're not forever, for a long period of time. So this is a critical place in sport participation and physical health for Canada, and we need to understand and bring this to the forefront. No different than the Toronto Sports and Social Clubs getting older people active. So big issue. So I think we're going to
and a multifaceted issue. We need community sport working together with municipalities, with government, with schools, with all the stakeholders. We need the whole ecosystem to get people back and active.
100%. 100%. So that's the Weekly Pulse.
Thanks, buddy. Now, question for you. Did you watch the that Super Bowl?
Yes, I did. Okay.
Quick thoughts.
Tom Brady is better than I thought he was. I thought he was fantastic. I mean, I think they hadn't had a winning season since 2016, and he comes in and wins. They're under 500 last year, and he wins this friggin' Super Bowl. I mean, say what you want, that is a champion.
Look, I didn't like the guy. I don't like the guy. I respect the guy. Now I love the guy. You know why?
Why is that?
Because he got fall down drunk and had to be carried. So now I'm like, okay, so you are a human being. You're not a cyborg. So let's go back to the Super Bowl. There's an ad that I want to show you that came out from General Motors, which you maybe saw, with Will Ferrell. I want you to have a look.
Did you know that Norway sells way more electric cars per capita than the U.S.? Norway. Well, I won't stand for it. Come on. Never mind. With GM's new Ultium battery, we're gonna crush those losers. Crush them! Let's go, America. Keenan, Norway's out EVing us. Wait, what's this?
Oh, it's my daughter's birthday. She's really into pirates
I don't
lately.
care. Grab an EV, meet me in Norway.
Okay, can I say goodbye to my family?
Nope.
All right.
Aquafina, sorry to disturb you, but Norway's beating us at EVs.
Nuh-uh.
Uh-huh.
Nuh-uh.
Uh-huh. Meet me there in an hour.
Can I ride with you?
No! GM's Ultium battery is made for all types of vehicles, so soon everyone can drive an EV. Whoa!
Why didn't we all just go together?
Knowing Will, he's probably flying private.
Hey, Norway, listen up, you fish-loving!
Oh, this place is adorable. Damn it. Where are you guys?
We're in Finland. Where are you?
I'm in Norway.
Norway? You're in Sweden.
Oh, Damn it!
I want your quick reaction.
Humorous, entertaining, got a message across, and GM has lost a bit until the very end, but very entertaining scale of 9.5. And GM's sending a message that they're coming. But anyway, branding a bit weak.
Okay, but they pissed off a country. So let's see what Audi in Norway had to say in very fast time when they saw this ad.
America is coming for us. Norway is the best country in the universe. How can you hate this? How can you hate us? Me. You want to punch us in the face? You want to do this to us? To me? To the world? We're trying to save the world. Save it!
Thoughts on Audi's reply?
Brilliant. Brilliant. I mean, it takes the sentiment of what's going on in the world and their past leader and brings it to life and does everything positive. Everything what's so brilliant on a brand side and brilliant on an execution side and brilliant on the response side in such a time period.
They saw the GM ad on Monday before the Super Bowl. They scripted that on Tuesday. They cast it on Wednesday, edited Thursday, was on the air Friday. And the ironic thing is Christopher Haidu there, who's a Game of Thrones actor, is actually a good friend of Will Ferrell. So I think they were very specific in that casting. But it wasn't just Audi who got their backup. One of the biggest companies in Norway, Bourbon St, also had a rebuttal for General Motors.
Hello, America. Thanks for noticing us. We weren't even sure you knew we existed, or any of these other countries. I mean, since the winner of Super Bowl is declared world champion, when you are the only ones invited. And is this really a football? I mean, it's not even a ball, it's more like a bean. This is a ball. I mean, this is a Super Bowl, just like our super electric cars.
Thoughts?
I much prefer the Audi ad. It's humorous. Much prefer the Audi ad.
But as we all know, the ugly American myth is perpetuated. I remember seeing a comedian years ago came up to the Calgary Stampede, and it was during the Olympics, and he said, the weirdest thing is I got to my hotel room and I turned on the television and I realized there's other countries in the Olympics. So classic American Super Bowl champions, the world champion.
Very clever. I mean, both very clever. I think Audi did more for the brand. That's my own personal belief. But
we got two more here, and we're kind of going down the budget scale, but I think they all have a point. So now Visit Norway, of course, had to jump in the act because why not?
You should be here by now.
I'm in Norway!
Norway? You're in Sweden.
Damn it!
You're not coming, Will? I know many Americans, they think Norway is a town in Sweden. So I want to give you a little guidance. This is Norway, and here are some other countries. They're not that important.
And this island is Great Britain, but you have to go further.
This is Sweden, and this is Finland. If you end up here, you have gone too far.
Or here, way too far. Go back.
You need to go here.
We believe in you, Will.
I hope you will make it, Will.
If you do, we can have a mackerel slap fight.
And I can teach you how to ski.
We are waiting right here.
So what do you think about the kids?
I think it's better than the Super Bowl ads were. I think the fact that GM actually spurred on being a bit tone deaf, what's going on to the education with the map. It's so condescendingly funny.
Yeah.
It's entertainment 10 out of 10. I hope Will Ferrell does go to Norway. I'm sure he will. And there'll be a whole new thing off that. But tone deaf from...
The ad is so mocking. It's almost, you kind of want to believe that those kids wrote the ad. They're almost like, GM, we know you spent millions. There's a big boardroom. Everyone's sitting around posturing. I know we're in LinkedIn, we're on Zoom and whatever, but I actually think those kids wrote that ad. When they ripped that sign up.
It's fantastic with the map because you remember everyone had one of those globes that you go around looking at and say, here's Finland, UK's way over here. Anyway, it's not a town in Sweden.
So even the University of Norway got pissed off, because they're being mocked for their green vehicles. They're being mocked for their, their generous social benefits. So this is a low budget, but I found this one absolutely hilarious from the University of Adger, and I'm probably not saying that correctly.
Damn it!
Holy mackerel. Olaf!
This just arrived for you. It smells like fishy.
I don't care. The Americans are coming, and Will Ferrell does not look happy.
What do we do?
We have to make a public apology, and we have to get rid of anything else that might make Will envy us in any way. If he gets so annoyed about our electric vehicles, I can't imagine how he'll react to all the other stuff.
All right. Action.
Dear Mr. Ferrell, dear General Motors, on behalf of our university and the rest of Norway, we are truly sorry. We want to maintain a strong and sound relationship with the United States. And of course, we shouldn't have become the leading country in the world when it comes to electrical vehicles without checking with you first. And we fully understand that you want to punch us in the face. But our collaboration with you is of utmost importance. Our student exchange, for instance.
I pay tuition.
Again.
I pay tuition?
One more time.
I pay tuition.
Good.
But I don't pay tuition. Education in Norway is free, even for us Americans.
Well, I know that, but Will Ferrell does not have to know. We also hope that we can continue our extensive research collaboration with many American universities. We collaborate, for instance, with the University of...
Good afternoon, Rector. I was hoping I could talk to you about our battery research. You know that project that uses clean, renewable hydropower to recycle and reuse batteries from electric vehicles?
Okay, but we'll have to talk about this later. This is really not a good time.
Okay.
What we're trying to say is that if you want
See you at the opening of the battery factory then.
Yes. What we're trying to say is that if you want to become the #1 country in the world when it comes to electrical vehicles, we won't stand in your way. We'll even help you and co-create the knowledge you need. Excuse me. Hello?
Hi, Rector. I just wanted to say goodbye, and I'll see you next year. I'm off for my 1-year paid maternity leave.
Sorry about that.
Not sorry.
Thoughts on the rector and her acting debut?
Get the point. I don't think just because you can be 2.5 minutes long doesn't mean you need to be. But I mean, it does send a message. I'm thinking from the brand side. I mean, I don't think anyone's going to get to the end of that.
But here's my question: name one university president that would film that ad, that would talk like a punch you in the face. That would basically, like, I thought it was. To your point, it's a home ad, but it's genius. And hey, you and I are putting on a home show, so who are we?
Absolutely, it costs them nothing. It promotes and if they get views and they get it out there, it's worth doing. I mean, I think one of the secrets was how quick they move. It's essential. If it comes out next week, it's too late. And the point of the free tuition, I mean, even America, I mean, it's a great calling card to come in. So, I mean, kudos that they actually, as you said, had the confidence or courage to actually do that.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Let's jump into last call here, and a couple things I want to talk about. Number one, it took, 20 months, but Masai Ujiri, that whole bullshit with the cop after the Golden State Warriors game, the lawsuits have finally been dropped. What are your thoughts on that one?
I was just curious who the countersue there.
He did.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, I know. The fact is, it's absolutely ridiculous. It shows, it relates back to the first opening credit with the virtual reality statues of people. I mean, if he's a 6'5" white guy, I'm sure he'd have been let through.
I just find it unbelievable. The guy's wearing a suit that probably cost more money than my car. He had a credential. The fact that it was all lies, and this guy decides he's got brain injuries and his wife's going to sue. I mean, Kafal Kali at the Globe and Mail, I might not be saying that properly, wrote a great column about it last night. It's like, if this can happen to somebody with prestige, with money, with clout, what would happen to a black person without that?
100. Like, if Mark Cuban got refused, what would have happened?
Yeah. Well, and I don't know if you noticed, and it wasn't on script, but Mark Cuban is not playing the American anthem this year before Dallas Mavericks games, and I think it's just a brilliant protest. And some people accuse Cuban of headline grabbing, but I think it's genius. Not genius, sorry, it's authentic.
He's standing for something. So, I mean, we got to continue to do so that there will be good stuff coming out of this.
You talked a little earlier about working with women's sports. The entire women's sport movement around the world was set back the other week by Yoshiro Mori, the now resigned head of the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games Organizing Committee. I'd love for your thoughts on that. Maybe inform people the story if they haven't understood what's gone on in the last 2 weeks in Japan.
So it's just, I don't know if we have a shot of it, but the fact is that the president of the Japanese Olympic Committee said that if we want more women to be on the board, we're going to have to mandate they talk less because they talk too much. So he finally resigned after a week of outrage, and of course he was replaced by an 83-year-old guy.
So one in with one, out with one 83-year-old, in with another.
But just the whole mindset is like, how could you? Anyway, there's an opportunity to do something. Of course, very traditional, and for every 2 steps forward, we do always take a half step back. In some cases, here probably 3 steps back. It's amazing. It's amazing how egotistical and tone deaf senior people are. Like, how could you be so unaware of what's going on? Like, it's mind-boggling.
Absolutely. Now, closer at home, we got another controversy. There's a hashtag trending this week. Hashtag Bell Let's Cut.
Yeah, I was not aware of that, but you mentioned the fact that they've, I'm certainly aware of a lot of other companies making the Bombardiers or the Cokes of the world that are making or have made massive cuts. And I'm not sure telcos are performing or underperforming, but I think it's, unfortunately, it's the start of an edge. You wait till it happens on the entrepreneurial side. If things don't get out of this, if we don't get all vaccinated.
Let me throw some numbers at you. They let 210, look, I've got a lot of friends at Bell and respect for them, but they let 210 people go this week. Do you also know this is the same company that has received $122 million of Qs?
I was not aware of that, but I knew they received a lot of money, and 100%.
So you let 210 people go. You received 100. That's $500,000 a person you could have paid to have kept them, and you've closed radio stations, etc. And I think there's 2 things here. One, how the heck can our Qs be so messed up? Then you have companies. The whole concept was to preserve jobs, and then let's not forget about the loss of local journalism. Winnipeg no longer has a sports radio station. I mean, just one market as an example. The loss of local journalism, I think, is a big issue long term.
A massive issue. And I mean, that's why all this purpose-based marketing, like, I don't think we can fool ourselves. It's profit-based marketing. It's profit. Companies are in business to make profit, and we're just little widgets in their way. And the fact is, they will cut. And that's why, I mean, I think we're both entrepreneurs. At least we're in charge of our own destiny. If you feel for the people, because I guarantee a lot of those people were cut because they're making too much money or were over 50. So
the best line I saw was somebody said, I worked at Bell for 12 years. And I felt like the guy at Blockbuster trying to convince my bosses to pay attention to Netflix. Genius line. Speaking of journalism, speaking of the future of entrepreneurship, for those of you who are out there, if you've been trying to get a hold of me lately, I'm sorry. I haven't been ignoring you. I've been on Clubhouse. I'm addicted to Clubhouse. I'm going to convince Don to get on Clubhouse. It's the coolest, most amazing social app ever. Don, are you on Clubhouse? Yes or no?
I never heard of Clubhouse until Thursday. So no.
Okay. Well, I've been on it for 10 days. I'm hosting a room this afternoon. It's my 3rd. Last night, I was in a room with 2,700 people because Justin, the co-founder of Twitch, because it used to be called Justin TV, was on. I'm going to let Gary Vaynerchuk take us home by telling you about Clubhouse. I'll see you next week, Don.
See you in a week.
Clubhouse?
Clubhouse is wildly underrated because most people don't know about the app yet. And the voice format, I'm very fond of Clubhouse, the app. It replicates real life. What if like 20 people got together, 8 people, 7 people got together at a dinner table and just shot the shit, and then everybody got to listen to it. It makes sense why it's working. I love the audio platform. I think a year from today, a lot more people will be on it.
So I just wanted to know what your opinion was on Clubhouse.
I'm obsessed with it. I think it's a remarkable platform, and I'm devastated that I'm so busy. But I'm telling you right now, I would spend every minute I could on Clubhouse right now building community.
Do you see it like the way you talk about LinkedIn and
Yes, I see it exactly that way for the people that have something to say and are good at communicating by voice.
I mean, probably the reason why you're probably not on here as much, you can't repurpose the content.
Correct. This is not a distribution platform. This is a platform to actually engage. And right this exact second, I'm challenged for time. But you should be living here as much as you possibly can. And so should all 2,000 people that are in this room. Just to expand on this, because so many people are asking me about Clubhouse, to me, you go and you build community just kind of like you would anywhere. You go in there, you join rooms, you raise your hand, you add your 2 cents, people start following you, you then start your own room, you create a conversation that you want to talk about. People are like, well, it's not recorded, this and that. People have had conversations at dinner tables, in hallways of conference rooms, around a campfire. This is real life. Like these social platforms that really do well, create scale around real life. Clubhouse is replicating dinner tables, at scale. And a lot of dinner tables have 4 to 5 people that dominate the conversation, the other 25 listen. This is replication, my friends. And things that replicate well, reality, win. And that's why Clubhouse has such a spark.